Welcome to Pioneers in Payments, where payments experts share their insights. Now, here's our host, Donna Blum.
Welcome, everyone. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Jared Drieling from the Strawhecker Group. Welcome, Jared.
Thank you. Appreciate your invitation for the Strawhecker Group to participate in this series. So appreciate it.
No problem. We're so glad to have you here with us today. Jared, to get us started, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself, your background in the payments industry, and also the Strawhecker Group?
Sure. So my name is Jared Drieling. My title at the Strawhecker Group is Senior Director of Market Intelligence and Insights. At the Strawhecker Group, we are a boutique firm focusing on the merchant acceptance space. We've got a wide variety of products and services and expertise at the firm. Primarily, we are supporting our clientele, who are card processors, card networks, software vendors, with a wide variety of support initiatives. It could include market research, consulting support needs, proprietary data analytics and insights into the actual market. And we also support our clients through M&A engagements as well. A little bit about myself. I've been with the Strawhecker Group for over 8 years. My primary responsibility here is managing our in-house market intelligence team. So think of a group of analysts who are focused on the payment space day in, day out, gathering all sorts of great information for our clients. Before I joined TSG, I'd spent a little over 11 years at First Data, now Fiserv, in a variety of different roles. I spent many years in the corporate strategy, market competitive intelligence team, supporting strategic initiatives from a global standpoint. The final few years during my tenure at First Data Fiserv was in a product management role under an information and analytics group. At that time, we had just acquired the Clover platform, and so we were exploring various ways of how we could not only develop applications for the platform, but use our internal information to commercialize and build out products for that platform. And from our group, there was a product created called Insidix. It still exists today on the Clover platform, essentially a data tool for SMBs to benchmark their performance with like merchants in a specific parameter.
Wow. Well, you certainly have a breadth of knowledge and experience, and we're just so thankful that you've joined us here today. We're going to try to glean some of that knowledge from you in these next few minutes. My first question for you is, what would you say the most notable trend in the payments industry is today?
That's a great question. There's a lot of change and potential disruption occurring right now in the payments acceptance space. However, in terms of the most notable trend, I would say software-enabled payments or integrated payments is one of those most notable trends. And why is that? Well, today, if you kind of think about the evolution of the landscape, every component of the payments world is undergoing some sort of transformation, right? We've got tech-savvy consumers on one hand who are setting new expectations for ease, convenience, and value. Clearly smartphones and tablets are at the heart of that revolution, with technologies such as cloud and data analytics, social media platforms also driving change. Well, these same technologies are also enabling new ways of paying and also enabling new entrants and allowing them to bring unique payment propositions to the market in a more integrated manner. So it's clear that consumers have more physical and digital options for shopping and commerce, and a wave of new entrants have increased the consumer's appetite and willingness to try out some of these new and emerging payment types. In addition, consumers are no longer limited by physical and geographic boundaries when it comes to purchasing goods and services. Now, this has been clearly evident during the pandemic. Consumer behavior changed quickly, and merchants had to adapt quickly as well, right? By opening e-commerce sites, enable buy online, pick up at the store, buy now, pay later. Well, all of this is putting pressure on merchants to upgrade their payment equipment and their business software. And as a result of that, merchants expect their payment partners to provide that wider range of solutions, really a partner that can provide complete business management solution from in-store to online, all from a single point of entry or platform. And this impending refresh has really prompted merchants and retailers to rethink their traditional store-centric software along with all of their consumer-facing technology. So today, Large corporation, small business, even a consumer really no longer has to make nearly as many decisions when purchasing hardware. In many cases, there may not be a hardware decision to make. Few trends in information technology have really had a greater impact on the rise, on the rise of cloud computing. Thus, back to the original question, I think the most notable trend today is how the industry is adapting to the evolution of the distribution model in payment processing, right? Software as a service or SaaS platforms continue to play a more direct role in payments. And this is going to have a profound impact on how and where processors secure transaction volume in the years ahead.
Okay, very good. So we talked about the most notable trend. What would you say is the biggest opportunity for organizations that process payments?
Well, the big opportunity for payment processing is leading with software-enabled approach for the reasons I laid out. It's been clear that merchants have always gravitated towards software, and there's always been that layer of technology that powers the business operations of those merchants. That trend is only going to grow in the future as software plays a more critical role in the success of those merchants. Thus, the model going forward truly is technology-enabled, software-led distribution that does allow integrated payments with more flexibility and less friction. So over the next 5 years, we believe the vast majority of merchant payment revenue growth will be acquired through those software solutions. So, today payment players are investing heavily in making their platforms easier to integrate with those software solutions. Payment processors really need to get serious about enabling SaaS platforms for payments if they wish to secure and expand future transaction values.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we talked about the biggest opportunity. Let's shift to the other side of the equation. Right now, today in the payments industry, what is the biggest challenge for organizations that are processing payments?
Sure. So I mentioned a little bit, earlier on the discussion around the disruptive forces, changing consumer behavior and how merchants are reacting to those changes in behavior. The big hurdle here is how do payment entities, along with their merchant partners, accommodate these significant industry changes, from accelerated e-commerce growth to expedited fulfillment, to contactless payments, curbside pickup, all of those new customer demands. And today, saddled with legacy systems that are not designed to accommodate this new environment, retailers, merchants, along with their payment partners, have really cobbled these systems together, trying to deliver on these capabilities, really a Band-Aid solution, right? So the major challenge here for payment providers will be that in order to survive in that new software reality, which is open and flexible, and to attract software partners, payment platforms, their data centers will all require improvements, more than just an interim adjustment or change. In order to take full advantage of those future opportunities within our space, change will need to be more strategic. Long-term payment modernization efforts will clearly be a challenging obstacle for many of the legacy payment providers in the market. In addition, merchants will also approach investments in payment technology with same level of scrutiny as the payment service providers themselves. They will be seeking out clear return on investment, mapping out processing capabilities back to their needs with very well-defined business outcomes. To succeed beyond 2022, payment processors, payment service providers in general, should be able to tell a compelling story around how they can help merchants enhance their customer experience, drive growth, and create those operational efficiencies. Modern APIs, unified platforms, built-in optimization, and advanced analytics and reporting are all great examples of the tech-centric capabilities that more sophisticated merchants are increasingly demanding.
Very good. Yeah. So, really, they need to be thinking about the future as they're making these changes? Modernization, resilience, all of those things are critical.
That's exactly right.
So now, and perhaps this is going to sound a little redundant, but if you were to give these payment processing organizations one silver bullet piece of advice, what would that be?
I think the silver bullet advice here would be to adjust and to not resist these changes in our industry. Really to have that solid integrated payment strategy and specialize in a certain area, right? Specialization come in form of a variety of factors. Could be specialization on a particular industry, geography, tier size, right? Maybe even cohorts of merchant segments. Those are the types of entities today that are gaining momentum and traction, right? They've got that solid integrated payment strategy. They are adjusting and evolving with the industry, and they're beginning to specialize in certain areas. I kind of always look back at, the past stories of Kodak, Borders, Blockbuster, and many others. These companies were all faced with a changing landscape, but they were so wedded in their current business model that they did resist change. On one hand, they didn't want to cannibalize their existing business model in favor of something that may be a temporary fad. On the other hand, these companies were so massive that changing would require a 5 to 10-year effort. And in other cases, they simply did not evolve along with the industry quick enough. And software is and will increasingly be the beating heart of merchant operations, from registering a website domain to uploading inventory. All merchant operations are shaped by software platform in one form or another. Mm-hmm. And as cloud computing and software integration continue to diffuse rapidly amongst merchant operations, the merchant experience will become increasingly convenient and time efficient. Compounded by the pandemic, the demand for seamless integration of sales channels is critical for an effective sales strategy, and the demand for it is only going to get bigger. So I think to end my thought here, the silver bullet here is to match the needs of businesses to a broader menu of technology solutions. It's a win-win. The big opportunity here is to literally come knocking with solutions. I think the message is clear that merchants want partners who help them solve the broader range of business problems they face every day.
Mm-hmm. I agree. They certainly need some assistance from organizations like the Strawhecker Group to just help navigate this changing payments landscape and help guide them in the right direction.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Before I let you go, I wanted to make sure that our audience knows how to learn more about the Strawhecker Group.
Yeah, you can find us at thestrawheckergroup.com. You can also reach out to individuals such as myself, Jared Drieling, and essentially we'd be more than happy to provide an overview of ways we could assist with your strategy, market research, or general benchmarking performance as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Jared. Really appreciate your words of wisdom. I'm sure our audience will too. And I just want to thank everybody for watching today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.